Okay guys, here it is. You guys blew up my social media when we post part 1 of this dresser showing how we did our ocean scene. If you'd like to see that, we'll post that link down below. But as I promised you, here's the bonus video of how I finished out the dresser with the paint. All right, so this week's project is gonna kind of take me back into my furniture painting days. I'm super excited. Haven't done one in a while. Customer dropped this dresser off and it's gonna go in her beach cabin. So she wants beachy vibes. So what I thought we would do is do a beach scene on the top, water, ocean. And then on the front, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an ombre of very beachy colors, dark to light, running up the drawers. So this ought to be fun. So looking at the piece, it's really well built. The bones are good. It even has a really good coat of paint. So I'm not gonna have to sand down to the substrate, which is really good. So what I'm gonna do to kind of prep this is I am gonna scuff sand it. The paint on here is kind of a semi-gloss. I wanna knock all that sheen down. And then I'm gonna come in and we're gonna paint our ocean scene, do some painting with our sand. We're gonna use a really cool product so it really looks like sand. And then we will start with our epoxy. So first things first, clean very, very well before we start sanding, and then we'll start our painting. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is come in with our Stone Coat Countertop new cabinet and furniture primer. This primer is going to help, one, give me a really good base to go to my next step with my other paints. This is also really good if you're doing a piece of furniture that has a lot of tannins. It helps prevent those tannins from coming up through your paint. I'm only gonna do one coat of this primer. It is very, very thick. I'm gonna do a thin coat, but I think I'm gonna be able to get away with just one thin coat. All right, so we have a really good coating of our primer. We'll let this dry really well, and then we'll come back and evaluate and go to the next step. All right, guys, so we've spoken with the homeowner, and what we've decided to do is a very subtle ombre starting at the bottom with our blue and working up to just a white. So the colors we're gonna be using are Dixie Belle Pure Ocean. That's gonna be our bottom color. And then our top color that we're gonna bring up is going to be our Dixie Belle Fluff. It's a little bit off-white color because I didn't want it to be super, super stark white. Like I said, we'll start at the bottom, we'll ombre up at the top, and we may add a little accents every so often. I've got my drawers sitting off to the side. We've already primed this with our Stone Coat Countertop Cabinet Primer, which I love, very easy to use, dries really quickly, and really has great adhesion. Okay, so here we go. Okay, everything's painted, it's completely dry, and it's time to do the next step, which there's several options that you can do. You can come over here with just a clear coat, like a poly. You could actually leave it like this. Dixie Belle doesn't need a top coat. However, I do like to put a top coat. It just gives it, for one, more protection. It also kind of just gives it a better feel. What I've decided to do this time is use a wax. I love using a wax on furniture. This happens to be a wax from Deb's Diary. DIY paint, and it is a very creamy white. I mean, and it's all natural, so you can get it on you. It doesn't have a really strong petroleum smell like a lot of waxes out on the market do. I love this wax. Now, you can use any wax you want. You're gonna get basically the same type of finish. The wax really does make it super, super smooth. The reason I'm doing white is just to kind of brighten this whole piece up, kind of give it that sandy, beachy vibe. So let's go. So what we'll do first is we'll apply the wax. I'll let it sit for a little bit and then I'll buff it and then we're done. I am using a brush that's specifically for waxes. It really helps get down into the nooks and crannies. Often I'll use an antiquing wax, and that kind of gives it an antique look, especially in the ridges and in the corners. But being that this is a beach piece, I really want it to be airy and bright and not have a lot of that antique vibe. And it doesn't take a lot of wax. Get inside and on the rim, that way your drawers will also slide a lot easier with that wax on there. Now you can see that white wax does give a lighter appearance when you first put it on top of that blue. It's kind of grabbing, that texture is kind of grabbing that wax, which I really like. And when I buff it, you'll see that that wax will come off the high spots, but it'll kind of stay in those low grooves that I got with my brush strokes. All right, we'll come back. We'll wipe it off, the excess. And I'm just using a soft microfiber. All right, we'll let that dry and then we'll come back and we'll buff it. So when the dresser was brought to me, I knew it was going to be going in the homeowner's guest house on the beach. So we knew what vibe we wanted to do. I wanted to keep it light and airy. I knew they had turquoise as their accent color in the room. So that's kind of how we chose all these colors. So as you can see, we started off at the bottom of the piece with an ombre. I pulled that color from the light turquoise that we used in the top, and I just ombre'd it up. I didn't want to do a lot of design on the actual dresser because I didn't want it to take away from the top. I felt like just doing a white was kind of boring, and you know me, I don't like boring. So that's what we did. After we primed, we painted, did the ombre. I added these really cute little nautical drawer pulls. It was just the final touch on this piece. I absolutely can't wait for the homeowner to see this, and even more, I can't wait to see it in its forever home. So let me know in the comments, what would you have done to the body of this dresser? Would you have gone really simple like I did, or would you have gone all out with an ocean scene? Let me know. Also, would you like to see me do some more ocean scenes? I've got a few really cool projects up my sleeve. Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, so all of the epoxy products that I used in this video are available on my website, RK3Designs.com. Free shipping on orders all over $100 and same-day shipping if you order before noon. I'll also link where you can purchase Dixie Belle paint. And remember, until next time, don't be scared, move forward, and be creative.